Good morning from New York. I'm your personal mystic, telling you to be your own mystic. Anyway, today's subject in intermind communication, which if you like, you can subscribe to. If you don't. And if you want to share the video, be my guest. I love comments in the form of questions, and may answer you in the form of a question. Or we may have to go to outside sources. Anyway, today's subject: toward a more caring, efficient society and world, healing the dysfunction of MAGA, loving communication in our inner selves. Now I'm going to have more confidence in myself than I probably deserve, and will present another video. Um, so, this is live. Well, that's you're looking at yourself. Okay. Um, that's the mirror test of intelligence that I just failed. That's Is that me? Anyway, yeah. Well, it's about the love flow, isn't it? Now, it's about an efficient meeting of human need in our societies, and that comes from perspectives within ourselves. Our inner imaginer, our artist, that imagines ourselves and our future and our past and our present, and uses creative empathy or love to appreciate in an artful way what's going on, So what's going on with you today? There's a part of you that can imagine itself outside of your timeline and your drama and appreciate whatever's going on. And perhaps that's what some of the mystics, the yogis in Vaishnava Hinduism would proclaim, saying, we came from bliss. All things come from bliss, and all things return to bliss. Well, that perspective is usually the perspective we have that we call God, the all-loving, all-powerful God, which is only loving in the sense of accepting all that can exist to have its chance. And so, you do see some troubles around. But what would life be without drama? And that perspective when inside you, which is part of you, part of the brain that conjures all of this, that part of you can imagine itself outside of yourself, looking at your drama in life and having an artful appreciation of whatever's going on, able to enjoy the movie. We can then try to improve the movie a little by helping main characters to be in your inner communication yourself, to be heroes of love, And that's the job of any mystic who tries to be at one with the imaginer of all they imagine, their own personification of the supreme reality, which some call God. Some people choose not to personify that. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that's really hard to do. Maybe so. Um, but yeah, that oneness, that wonderful joining together, that's important to just start with that kind of empathy that can accept everything in life, the good, the bad, the ugly, and see the beauty, enjoy the experience vicariously, as if from outside, to be always in bliss and in a time above time. This is maybe at the root of some of the paranormal experiences that some people point to. From that perspective, perhaps we really are above our normal sense of time. And some people say that, well, it's actually time is a kind of illusion, dependent on a kind of consciousness observing. Well, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But it doesn't matter. Whatever goal you have in life, to be more loving of, well, that's a human, that's being human in a very virtuous way, and in a more efficient way. You start off with the artist and see life and enjoy it in all its variety. Enjoy other people. They are a wonder walking. And the good, the bad, and the ugly are all beautiful parts of a very enjoyable movie, if you're looking at it vicariously from a safe position. Now, that artist reaches into our future, into a safe position in the future, establishing a sense of safety there, and counsels us from our present moving forward. And it reaches into our past as our compassionate self, our inner caregiver, to help us to re-experience and mine for those good things that we may have missed our first or been ignoring, and also to help us to express what once we couldn't express because of trauma, because of damaged faith and love. Times when we were helpless to express and feel what we were rationally speaking should be doing, but which was impossible because of the trauma situation. Symbols of that need is what comforts us in our more unreal perspectives of life. And it's from that symbolic sense of need, the love of money, or the love of symbolic need. It's the root of all evil. All evil, evil's okay, it's a part of the drama. But It's something that, in a dramatic sense, challenges our sense of survival and creates an unpleasant experience for us in the drama. So, being able to unlearn that helplessness by reliving the past, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, that frees us from living in the present in a symbolic past, because those needs are now gone. They're a thing of the past, and so you need to grieve them and let them go. Then you can forgive, which will really help around the world if you do that. To be able to forgive. That doesn't mean you trust, but it's a big burden off of you, and it gives other people a little hope, and that, you know, they can move on also. Um, and then after that is when we can really approach the true devastating perspective of ourselves because of this damaged faith, hurting other people, becoming a pariah, out of touch with our virtues, goodness, truth, and artfulness, out of touch, and being harmful. And that's one of the hardest things of all to feel. And a punishing attitude is what's going to mess up a more caring and efficient society in terms of meeting human need or the love flow. A punishing attitude demands people to change before they've gone through this process. And a little pause in their thinking should be helpful to see this. If it's not, then you need some healing. And as does the world. When that's done, you're a new person to some degree, and you can start again. So, that was an explanation of the mythology which underlies the practices that are the distribution of inner mind communication that I myself and a few others share. Well, who are they? I've been trying to get them to join this effort, but they're busy. They're doing good things here and there, you know. This isn't the only way, but sometimes it feels a little lonely. I remember my teacher, the Zen master, the Honorable Venerable Dr. Thich Thien An, on the death of his dear friend who really got and understood the Dharma. He broke into tears, saying, "Now only one to teach the Dharma." He was overcome with grief. Of course, he was not the only one. Perhaps at that moment in time, but certainly not the only one. But he was expressing his dramatic self. And that's good. Well, he was grieving. And that touches me. I would like to not feel I'm the last. It reminds me of something my sister said to me since my our mother had a child that lived only a day, and she grieved for that all her life. Bless her heart. And we're the last two, in a sense, And my our father and one of his sisters were the last two, and they were constantly saying, "We're the last two." And so now my sister and I joke that we're the last two, and we are. But not the last two. Oh no, not worldwide. There are plenty of replacements for us. Um, you know, maybe improved versions. We can only hope, right? But yeah, we all have faith in our children, even when they're trying to eat dirt. And they're not as ready for adulting as they think they are. But we love them anyway. And yeah, they're inspired and they're energetic, and that's all good. And they'll grow out of the impractical idealism that fires them up in the beginning. But we'll look back, with a sad reminiscence on those days when we also had impractical ideals. And I hope that this is not an impractical idea altogether. It is in a sense, but we can make things better than what they are. And how well we do with that, well, let's find out. Yeah, so we're talking about the efficiency of meeting human need, and that means a real communication of needs and between ourselves and within ourselves, and helping meet those needs from a safe, objective, creative, and compassionate position in terms of how we view time and how we embrace one another. That mythology where the artist in us creates the caregiver and counselor, and as these anxieties ease, it's like the artist within you is giving you a hug, increasing your sense of potency and your sense of safety, and and expanding your comfort zone in terms of embracing greater objectivity, creativity, and compassion. And that's spiritual growth. And you don't need a religion for that. You do need practices. You need to communicate, and communication outside of yourself. Well, sure, that's so important. So is the communication inside yourself, and the inner mind communication distribution that I sometimes call the yoga of love is is uh, is about helping the love flow and helping that efficiency of meeting human need, and providing that spiritual growth. You don't need to particularly believe anything. The practices speak for themselves, and you try the practices, you see what happens. If you feel you have a very serious mental disease, you might want to seek professional help. It's all right to have help from outside, but you don't want someone piloting your own life. And there are things in your life that you probably should keep to yourself in a world so full of punishment. so eager to, like sharks when they smell or sense blood in the water, like, oh, there come the humans. The hypocrites, usually. And they're out for blood. You have to, every nation has its, security uh, concerns and its sense of privacy. So the protection of your privacy is very important, and don't let therapists invade it overly much. Mm. This is ultimately a job that you need to do yourself. That you can feed that effort with outside help, sure. And if you're so far gone, you can't do it. Well, you're going to need some help then. All right. And this in no way is telling you not to do it. But now we're talking about a more loving world, and I've mentioned healing the dysfunction of MAGA. Well, it's one of the ways that I came to understand this full picture of the mystic path was in the political arena, where I would try to get through to people using creative, objective, and compassionate perspectives, trying to find common ground, which is inherent in it, that you're finding common ground. You're finding some shared understanding of sorts, and everything's built from that. You start from where you're comfortable and you expand on that. You don't. That's one of the problems I have with the therapeutic approach, is that it's looking for the negative stuff. I don't think that's a right approach. I think you can overload people with that kind of approach, and there may be things that that someone just may never be able to fully face, and you're dredging it up. I don't go with that. I don't approve of that approach at all. And I've had arguments with AI about it. And it shows a distinct bias. You know. But anyway, that's, yeah. The people that want to name names and call names, and, hello. MAGA is where you or I would be if we had the same information sources, and if we were more inclined toward a life ruled by religion, by symbolic expressions of reality, around symbolic need. Am I saying the religion's the root of all evil? I wouldn't say that. This universe is full of things that we would like to call evil. But yeah, religion is a big divider amongst people, and it's very symbolic. It's ritualistic. It's one thing that Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita is just abandon all religion and follow me. Follow your inner artist. Take the reins. Have an empathy, a relationship that you share with your higher self, your imaginer of all you imagine. and work on these forms of empathy. And that's the other thing that's the problem with MAGA, is that they have some, as Bruce pointed out in the Midas Touch, that they have a mental disease. I would not say that it's incurable. I would say that a lot of these folks are people who would never engage in the practices that I'm talking about. They wouldn't be capable. Some of them maybe yes. But in a in-house situation where they didn't have a lot of choice, with a clever therapist, I think there's a chance they could change. And but in a time-limited space where we're trying to vote for the better instead of the worse, it's not a time to engage in the long process of direct healing. But President Obama's lovely wife, Michelle, once said, "When they go low, we go high." So I think a lot of people didn't quite understand that and thought that it meant you couldn't call a rat a rat, a cow, or whatever, or a sunset. Didn't mean that. You call people out when there's an unloving approach being taken. You have to. And just like you have to defend democracy. And that's the fix politically. But at the same time, we have to take out time to heal society and to heal MAGA kind of tendencies, the racism and and racism. And there should be a bigger term, because it isn't all about racism. This prejudice comes in a lot of forms, and hateful prejudices come in a lot of forms. And there are even positive forms of prejudice where you think that this group is better than every other group. There's a very positive prejudice toward that group. You need to lay all that aside. And some people are incapable of it, or temporarily incapable of it. Some of whom might be able to engage in this process and find their true self, that best integrated self they can be, and some may not. But is this practice something that you do only in yourself? No, not at all. It's something that you do by teaching it, sharing it. Which, by the way, you can share this video. You can share this channel. You can create a channel like mine. Try to improve empathy in our world and awareness in our world, and we'll be allies. So let's try to do that. Okay, let's try to form alliances that are helpful, and that's one way to heal the situation. And sometimes we have to challenge some people's comfort zones, their lack of sufficient objectivity, creativity, and compassion. But we can do it with an appreciation of the wonder that they are. Just as we look out at the world and see the wonder of nature the wonder of the universe. We can see the wonder in each other. And with that, I'll close this presentation. I love to use the phrase namaste, which speaks to the capacity for love that's in all of us, the potential for improving our love flow, expanding our comfort zone in all of the ways that provide virtue, from compassion, goodness, from creativity, artfulness, and from objectivity, truth. And look up to those people who are high on that score. Anyway, and they're the best in business, if you're going to do business with people. Those qualities are great, especially in a leader. And with that, I will say, go Joe. He's still a great leader. He may be getting older. He may be a little forgetful at times. But he has that fire of the mystic down in his heart. And he really is trying to help the world and defend democracy. And you should too by voting for Joe Biden. Thank you. And before I completely sign out, I will let myself have the enjoyment of penalizing you for watching by singing to you. There's this beautiful Irish blessing that I like. I put it to a tune so that I wouldn't forget it. Not that I write music, okay? I'm not a genius, an ordinary fellow. But here goes. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand. Now from the wonder that lives in me to the wonder in you, namaste. And make a great day today. Namaste.